50 Cent is stirring things up again, claiming that Jay-Z is the first person Diddy plans to confront after getting out. Rumors are flying that Jay-Z may have let Diddy take the full hit while quietly backing away from the chaos. People point out that Jay-Z was seen at many of Diddy's parties and was even mentioned in a few lawsuits. Yet he never appeared in court, and the accusations connected to him disappeared just as fast. So now the big question is circulating. Did Jay-Z actually play a strategic role in Diddy's downfall, or is this just another hip-hop conspiracy making noise online?
The same concept with the Super Bowl. See, they don't understand the relationship. They was trying to get him to do the Super Bowl without me.
Wasn't happening.
And that's not it. It wouldn't happen.
No way.
You see what I'm saying? Because he would look and go, it's okay for them, the award shows, not to give me the trophies. If you look at even Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, 1.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them.
50 Cent's feud with Jay-Z and Diddy dates back to the late 90s after he dissed Jay on How to Rob, calling him a poser. And from 50's point of view, Jay was always more about behind-the-scenes power moves than real confrontation. Over the years, 50 has claimed that Jay uses industry influence to block other artists and even pushes crew to release their albums at the same time as 50's to cut into his sales. And when it comes to Jay and Diddy becoming billionaires, 50 argues it wasn't just their music that got them there. It was a strategic, competitive, and sometimes ruthless business moves that kept everyone else a step below them.
You know, I remember one time walking in the studio, Bleak Beans, everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now, just flood it, put out a lot of music because 50 Cent is coming. And, you know, 4 months later, in the club hit, and it was over. And it was just like, okay, now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tidal wave out.
It's a huge difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records sold 5 million. You let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there. Because America can be purchased. You can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world, there's not enough marketing dollars to go around.
That's why I made a statement about Taylor Swift. I wish you would come take one of my awards so I could black his eye in front of everybody. And Jay disagrees.
I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
Does that bother you? Does it bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me. It's just his choice.
Why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z?
The public is responding to his punk presentation. It's not 50 Cent. I don't have a problem with him. Kanye would not take a trophy from me. Neither Jay-Z.
Right.
Neither one of them.
What would you have?
No, we'd have had an altercation, right?
50 Cent always felt he saw through Jay-Z and Diddy's moves in the industry, believing they used their power to control who got a rise, just like when Nas faced pressure during his feud with Jay. To 50, the same artists who talk about uplifting the culture were also protecting their own positions, making it tough for anyone who wasn't aligned with them to break through. Others in hip-hop have echoed similar views, saying the industry's most powerful figures often work together in ways that shaped who succeeded and who didn't.
Be bigger than Jay-Z. You couldn't sell more records than Jay-Z. But all you had to do was listen to Benny Siegel. And Benny Siegel was, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, he said that. That was the first of me actually hearing it. Like, oh shit. Like I used to have questions like, why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top. He wouldn't let me breathe or right before me. Like I was always close and I always thought like, damn, if a kid, back then it was physical copies. So if you had $20, $20 that you saved up and you was going to buy an album and it's under the same house, Rockefeller between Jay and being seen, 9 times out of 10 you won't buy the Jay-Z album. I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on time. And it was like, damn, like to have in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay already the boss, but I always thought that, like, let me breathe. But to maliciously plot to hold me back, I don't know, man. I don't believe that. I don't want to believe that. I mean, but like I said, Dame would know better than me.
According to 50 Cent's side of the story, Jay-Z has always moved in ways that felt more competitive than supportive, especially when it came to other black artists coming up. 50 has claimed that Jay even tried to block him from performing at the Super Bowl, and that it was Eminem who stepped in, telling the NFL he wouldn't perform unless 50 was included. From 50's perspective, moments like that showed exactly how the power dynamics in the industry really worked.
The big homie Jay-Z, right? I said to my nephew, I said, yo, listen, I have to ask him this straight up. So I said, yo, why? Who is the people that's on NFL? And he said to me, and I'm sorry for anybody who don't understand. And he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. Mm-hmm. He said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
That's beautiful.
And guess who's Dre's guy?
Your guy.
Me.
Let's make him live.
I mean, Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know, he's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy going on. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay. So I think people are just going to say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you got to remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. Like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl?
You didn't know that? Yeah, he didn't want it.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some haters. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted them there. I don't know.
Because of what? Some of the.
I mean,
back
you
and
know,
forth,
it's competition. You got to think. 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1 with the 50 Cent.
That was a long time ago.
That was what 9. What was that? 9?
But after that, they did a song together. Remember the whole.
Of course, but
50
was always competition for niggas. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. He told Siegel and them and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember, he came after this. He came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came. And people might get on G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody has had the effect that we had.
Jay-Z and Diddy have been connected since the 90s. Moving in the same circles and benefiting from the same industry power. But when Diddy's situation blew up, Jay kept his distance. Some people online have even speculated that Jay might have played a strategic role in how everything unfolded, though none of that has been proven. What added more fuel to the theories was a revelation that a major outlet reportedly held onto the Cassie footage for years before releasing it. So now people are asking, who told him to stay quiet? And why did everything suddenly surface at the exact moment it did? For many, the timing feels a little too convenient to ignore.
Who was kind of like, we're done with this guy. You're not back. You're threatening to say this. Release the footage, right? So they released the footage. He comes out, issues an apology, while his lawyers accuse the government of leaking the tape. It was later admitted as evidence in his trial. Again, January deal, March is raiding his house, Miami and LA. May, here's a video being dropped from CNN, even though they've been sitting on it for 8 years. September 2024, book is released, Kim's Lost Words, which, by the way, there's a lot of speculation with this thing here, so whatever I'm reading is not necessarily 100%. It is there, it is not there. The alias they use on who wrote the book is Shanti Millwood, which is an alias for Tupac, which is kind of weird. Why would you use that? This book appeared on Amazon, allegedly written by Kim Porter, accused Diddy of misconduct with minors. Porter's children denounced it as fake. Investigators revealed the real author was Chris Todd, who claimed he compiled the book from a mysterious blast.
People in the industry have been whispering that Diddy didn't just fall, he was targeted. One moment he was being celebrated, getting awards, and receiving keys to major cities. And the next he was in handcuffs, stripped of nearly $700 million, and watching his entire empire collapse overnight. To many, the sudden shift feels way too drastic to be random.
Surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all? Or you're like, you have no idea, it's none of my business, you'll live longer. Is that kind of like the mindset?
Surprised. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip hop? You know, hip hop is the Wild West. So you're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad, you're gonna have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and raiding his Miami home, his LA home?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, somebody, has the power to pull the trigger to make, this stuff, this domino effect happen.
50 Cent claimed he knew who was behind the moves against Diddy. And according to him, it was Jay-Z. He even didn't hold back, joking about the situation and calling out the power dynamics at play.
To come with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
to us, black excellence,
that had to be there.
We getting tighter, you know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch.
Oh,
Like,
I hate you, man.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm going to be with you this year. Yeah. Come on, bro.
It's clear to many that Jay-Z runs the industry like a business, always thinking strategically about his moves. 50 Cent has joked that Jay-Z's marriage to Beyonce was as much a business decision as a personal one, pointing out how Jay's career skyrocketed after their union, from Grammy wins to massive influence in music and beyond. Even the next generation seems set to inherit that legacy, showing just how calculated Jay's empire building has always been.
When Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. Mm-hmm. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he didn't show up.
He has like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
It was one. At the same time. After that, he got some shit. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Why are you so on top of the business side of Jay-Z? You know what I'm saying? Some people like to just be an artist.
Yeah, I was actually forced to be an artist and a businessman because when I tried to get a deal, I couldn't get a deal. So I had to create Rockefeller Records. We actually created Rockefeller Records from nothing. And, so I was forced to know both sides of the business.
It's surprising to some that Jay-Z has never faced jail time, despite being involved in some of the same controversies that caught others like Diddy in the crossfire. Unlike Diddy, he's been careful about what he admits publicly. Jay-Z's brushes with the law go back decades. For example, in December 1999, he was linked to a high-profile incident at New York's Kit Kat Club involving music executive Lance Rivera, showing that his controversial history didn't start with Diddy.
A top rap star is busted.
Jay-Z turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
I have my faults. You know, I'm not a perfect person.
Diddy faced past accusations of violence, including incidents where he allegedly shot someone, yet he was never convicted. Now, years later, he's heading to prison while Jay-Z acts as if he knew nothing about any of it. It's hard to believe that one of hip-hop's most powerful figures could be close friends with a billionaire for decades and remain unaware of the chaos behind the scenes, especially when someone like 50 Cent met Diddy just once and instantly saw exactly what kind of person he was.
Puff haven't liked each other business-wise for a long time.
But that's why it's only business. It was really, away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. Now, when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, I'll spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable.
One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he's gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take but he won't you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names, just like with Jeffrey Epstein.
This was a secret. Everyone in the industry knew. People like Jaguar Wright and Gene Deal, who have worked closely with Jay and Diddy, have been speaking about these issues for years. Yet the shocking part is that no one seems to care. As long as record executives keep making money, the well-being of victims becomes irrelevant.
Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Pierce Morgan.
Is Beyonce Celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Well,
what I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows.
Rihanna was trafficked to Def Jam.
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look at her now.
14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the fucking morning in a hotel room. Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in Def Jam history.
Diddy isn't going to let Jay-Z take him down quietly. He's preparing his comeback. TMZ reports that White House officials have confirmed discussions of a possible pardon, which should be granted as soon as next week. Rumors of a pardon have been swirling for weeks, and now it seems the process is finally moving toward reality.
This is the 100th time that I've seen this being reported, but now according to TMZ, Donald Trump is thinking about giving Diddy that pardon. I will say the wording of this TMZ article is a little confusing, but they are citing that their source is a high-ranking White House official. According to TMZ, Donald Trump is thinking about commuting Diddy's sentence as early as this week. But TMZ cites this source as Donald Trump is vacillating, which means that he's not sure which way he wants to go. He's swaying back and forth, and he's indecisive about what he wants to do. I'm sure the wording about Donald Trump being indecisive on whether to give a pardon or not to Diddy is the fact that Diddy was publicly talking crap about him, because we all know how Donald Trump is. But it can still potentially be a big deal to know that he is even potentially considering a pardon for Diddy at this point, because he doesn't have to consider jack crap. The White House officials who are saying that they are urging Donald Trump to not give Diddy a pardon say that they are not sure what Donald Trump is going to end up doing, because at the end of the day, he does what he wants. We do just know he granted a pardon last Friday to another person that was in Congress. And I think with Donald Trump, we literally never know exactly what he is going to do. But all I gotta say is, if you're about to free Diddy, you also better free those Epstein files too.
Just 3 days after Diddy was sentenced to over 4 years in prison on prostitution charges, President Donald Trump seems to confirm he's heard from the mogul's legal team. The comments coming Monday from the Oval Office as reporters asked about a pardon for Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving 20 years for child sex trafficking.
I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it, so but I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be a candidate of clemency, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to speak to the DOJ. I'll look at it. I have a lot of people have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Trump and Diddy's ties go all the way back to the late 90s. Diddy was reportedly a guest at the president's 2005 wedding, and they ran in the same social circles.
One mogul after another. It's mogul time.
It's your boy Diddy.
ET's cameras caught them together at this New York charity event in 2008.
On X, one user noted that multiple outlets are reporting Donald Trump may commute Sean Diddy Combs' prison sentence as early as next week. Having covered a trial, this would be a blatant injustice and an insult to survivors like Cassie, echoing the same privilege and protection extended to Ghislaine Maxwell. Justice shouldn't hinge on wealth, fame, or connections. 50 Cent anticipated this possibility and has been urging Trump not to grant a pardon, posting repeatedly on X and Instagram to make his stance clear. Before Diddy's sentencing, 50 even wrote a letter to the judge warning that Diddy could never truly change, and if released, would likely return to his old ways and endanger the victims again.
As 50 Cent caught wind of it, he said, "Man, you can't get no pardon running your mouth like that. LOL, get up out of here," as he had reposted that clip of Diddy talking down on Trump and calling Trump out, as they did have a relationship at one point in the past. Now, Diddy has been very vocal about being anti-Trump, and supposedly this pardon is allegedly coming from Diddy's team now, as he was convicted. We saw what happened Friday, 4 years in federal prison for the two-man act counts that he was found guilty of in this RICO things that he got denied of. But with that going on, he still was ultimately convicted right here. Now, 50 Cent, he gonna jump out there and go at Diddy every chance he get. I feel like he really uses it as marketing, but there is a little sentiment there, as Dirty Daphne, that is his baby mama. She is somebody that got up on the stand and testified against Diddy.
In case Diddy's pardon doesn't go through, he's already filed an appeal to have his conviction overturned, signaling that he's determined to get out as quickly as possible.
We are following some breaking news right now, and Sean Combs is taking the first step to appeal his conviction and prison sentence. His attorney today filed a notice of appeal. Earlier this month, the disgraced music mogul was sentenced to 4 years in prison on prostitution-related charges. His lawyers have argued the conviction should not stand because Combs lacked a financial motive for transporting male escorts. More papers detailing the arguments behind the appeal are expected to be filed soon.
Jay-Z may have built an empire, but every empire eventually faces its reckoning. If Diddy truly believes Jay set him up, this feud could expose secrets the hip-hop elite have tried to bury for decades. Did Jay-Z really betray Diddy? Or is 50 Cent just stirring the pot, as he always does? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exclusive breakdowns of hip-hop's biggest power moves.